Good morning, Oracles. Well, unfortunately, I've got to wear a red shirt again because Tesla was down about 2.5% yesterday, but the whole market was down. CPI data came in exactly in line, but it is still really high at 7.8%. So that brought the market down. We'll have the FOMC meeting next week to determine how rates are going to change. We will probably see our first rate increase come as well. So we'll have a little uncertainty around that. So we'll see how the market trades next week. The good things that I saw from the trading yesterday was we did have a gap down to 823. So we filled that gap and now we kind of rebounded. So we're definitely still in this bull pennant. Like we're really forming a nice wedge for a potential breakout. Again, with the market and the way it's behaving, who knows if we're actually going to break out or not, but we are forming that pattern again. So we'll monitor this, see if it's going to do anything. Maybe the FOMC meeting next week causes a breakout, maybe it causes a breakdown. Again, we'll see how it goes. I'm still doing my daily dollar cost averaging. I did add a little bit yesterday at 821. So we'll see how the market behaves today. Maybe it goes down and I add a little bit more. Maybe it goes up and I celebrate and get to wear a green shirt. And one thing that we did see after hours yesterday was Rivian had their earnings and they did not do well. And they are only forecasting 25,000 deliveries for 2022. The stock was down almost 20% after hours. And, going back to when it first IPO'd, I put a warning out there, and I know I'm not the only one. I saw many other YouTubers and people on Twitter saying, you know what, it's way too overpriced. Be careful with your investment. I saw the thing cross $100, and I'm like, I thought $60 was high for the stock. 40 seemed a little bit more practical, and now we're down to 35 for the stock. So again, you got to be careful with these stocks. They come in hot, momentum, and then the carpet gets pulled right up from underneath them. Not to say they're not going to do well in the long term. They've got Amazon backing them up. They do have a good vehicle that's there, but they're still in the infancy stages of it. So, you can't price it in like Tesla is. It's just not going to work that way. You got to price it in like Tesla was being priced in 10 years ago, which was pretty garbage. So I applaud Rivian because, any company out there that's producing EVs to help the world transition over to renewable energy and EVs, I'm all for it. I support it. Even the legacy automotive makers moving in that direction, I support. But you got to be realistic with it. And the stock price where it was at was not realistic. So now looking at Tesla, so I actually changed yesterday my order to add FSD. I was like, you know what? I looked at it and I was changing it over and I was like, I want to use my vehicle as a robotaxi in the future. Let me add FSD. And I did that, and guess what? Two things I noticed. One, the FSD package for me was still $10,000. So if any of you have a reservation that you had put in prior to the price going up, I think you're going to be grandfathered in with whatever the price that was. So that was pretty cool to see that it was only $10,000 for me. And the second thing is my delivery date changed from November of this year to next week. And I'm like, I'm not ready to take it next week. I already had my VIN number assigned and everything. It was coming out of Fremont, which I definitely do not want. I want to make sure I get a 4680 battery. I mean, heck, I hadn't even finished the credit and everything and going through to finalize trading in my vehicle. So I've got some things in the works there, but it was nice to see that is what's going on. So Tesla is definitely prioritizing the higher end vehicles. Anything with high margin, FSD definitely. If I take FSD out and I put induction wheels in, that moves my delivery date from November to August. And I think that's actually what I might do. I'm not sure. So in discussing things with a couple of friends, like I want to have FSD. For me, I was going to get it for the return on my investment as a robotaxi later. But as one of them pointed out, that $10,000 can be invested into Tesla stock. And even if I only get a 40% year-over-year return on the stock on that $10,000, that still could end up being $25,000 plus by 2025. And that's if in 2025, robotaxis are actually a reality for me so that I can actually get some money back on my investment of $10,000. So in doing a lot of hemming and hawing and thinking about what I wanted to do, I'm probably not going to get FSD in my vehicle. I'll go with the monthly subscription and turn it on and off as I want to use it. And yes, I'm well aware of in the future, the monthly subscription is going to be significantly more expensive. I have no doubt that the full package, if I wanted to pay for it, if it still is available in a lump sum, will be significantly more expensive. So I was just kind of balancing off how much money do I want to spend now, because I don't even have that money right up front now. So I'm like, I'll wait. I think it'll be better and wiser for me to invest that money into Tesla stock, and then I will go ahead and reassess the future as we get closer to robotaxis becoming a reality. So that's the decision I made. I did the best thing that I needed to do for myself. I'm also looking at buying a house right now, and so I've got a lot of expenses that I kind of just need to make sure I'm not spending more money than I actually have, and be wise with it. And now to switch gears a little bit, I had a kind of a light bulb go off last night as I was, thinking about things. And over 100 years ago, we had the Industrial Revolution. That came through and completely revolutionized how we did things, how we lived life, and how we produced everything. I think we are ready for the next one. I hear people talking about the Great Reset, and we see that energy and renewable energy is going to be the future. And I think that's what we're coming into right now, is one of these moments where we're going to get the energy revolution. We had the Industrial Revolution before. We're now about to get our energy revolution. And this is what's going to change and see things going forward. So if this is what you see, this is another thing where you take a step back and say, all right, well, what do I want to invest in if we are about to go through an energy revolution? Well, obviously Tesla is one of the top ones, because not only are they going to be producing electric vehicles that would be utilized during this energy revolution, but they're producing the energy for the energy revolution, and the power packs, and everything that goes along with it. So when you're looking at companies to invest in, if you're about to go through an energy revolution like we are, Tesla's one of the top ones. And we talk about, the stock being where it's at right now, it seems like it's extremely undervalued. There is so much potential, such a huge total addressable market that we are about to go into for Tesla that no other single company has ever gone into before. I mean, imagine if you went back over 100 years and you saw the Industrial Revolution coming and you invested in Ford, you invested in steel companies. If you had invested in these things, you invested in oil companies. My goodness, if you had invested in those companies before the Industrial Revolution started, you would have billions of dollars right now. This is what we're about to go through with the energy revolution. So this is why pick those stocks that are going to be the biggest winners coming out of this. Tesla, obviously, as we talk about it all the time, has the potential of being the absolute biggest winner for the energy revolution that we're about to go through. And this is one of the reasons why I don't shy away from saying that I think we're going to 4x in the next 4 to 5 years at minimum, and we're going to 10x in the next 10 years at minimum, because there is so much potential that is coming behind Tesla. And we're already seeing it. Obviously, we've recognized the oil dependence that we have is horrible. So we're going to get away from that. Tesla will get a piece of that. Tesla's building the infrastructure that's going to revolve around electric vehicles that they also produce. They're also going to be producing the robotaxis, which are going to utilize the electric infrastructure that Tesla creates. All of it. They're going to have their hand in every single piece of this energy revolution going forward. And so when you're looking at your stock right now and saying, oh, it's depressed, do I want to sell because it's so far down? Ask yourself, most of you, I gotta say there's very few on here who are not long-term investors, and you see this. Let me know in the comments below, what do you see for the future? Are this energy revolution, is that part of what you see in your long-term view of Tesla and the company and the stock? Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. I am tomorrow going to go over, somebody had asked in the comments to go over the pros and cons of marketing for Tesla. So if you've got any information or any thoughts and feedback about that, please add that in the comments below, and I will add that to my video because I've got my own ideas and opinions, but I love to hear all of yours as well. So check that out. I will add that, put that in the comments. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all of the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades there. Thank you so much. Have a great one.